What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. I got a FedNow update mixed with some XRP and Ripple stuff. It's going to be a banger all the way through, so stay tuned to the end because you don't want to miss any of this really good information. Without further ado, let's get into this from Mr. Man. The rollout of FedNow system is exciting and underway. Let's play this.
A select group of participants, and then in September to a larger number of pilot participants. When we released that code in September, we were, I would say, approximately 80% done. So we gave the pilot participants really early access to our service in order to help them understand how their code works, how our code works, and just increase the level of readiness for the go live. In April, we have started our certification phase. We started, in fact, on April 1st. And by the end of the day, we had the very first organization certified. So there's a lot of momentum and readiness that is going into the July date, and we are on track for the launch. But as excited as we are for the launch in July, I am personally a lot more excited about what's to follow July. I think there is a lot of opportunity. There are a lot of features and functionality that we're going to continue to develop as part of the FedNow service in order to support the innovation that will happen in instant payments in the US.
So guys, what they're talking about here is they've been planning this for years. Actually, I made a video a couple days ago. It'll probably be out before this one, where I go through all of the technology that was the Faster Payments Council and Task Force were basically testing for the FedNow system. And you're going to be very surprised about those technologies I went through. I'll try to link that video down below, but you definitely want to check out that video if you have not already, because it really does speak bounds and miles how good Ripple's technology is compared to what else they were testing. And also too, guys, just a reminder here, if you haven't been watching any of my previous videos on FedNow, these are some of the partnerships and service providers inside of FedNow that are actually, some of these guys are connected to Ripple. And I'll show you a few of them. ACI Worldwide, connected to Ripple. Finastra, connected to Ripple. FIS Global, connected to Ripple. Temenos, connected to Ripple. What's not on here is Volante, which is also connected to Ripple. Guys, there's just so many different connections inside of FedNow that all of these banks could start using XRP, maybe even XLM or whatever else. The really crazy stuff is I don't see Stellar making the same partnerships as Ripple does. So that's kind of why I talk more about XRP on this channel. I do think Stellar is a great asset. I just think Ripple has the keys to the kingdom, in my personal opinion, globally. And this is from Chad Steinbarger. Grabber. I messed it up. My bad. Here's a thread list of FedNow onboarded July 1st, ISO enabled real-time settlement. So you have, First Source Bank, ACI here, El Credi Payments, there's some different ones here, Alvest. You can come down here and you can see more. Bank of Hawaii. I guess Hawaii wasn't so far behind. That's good to see. BNY Mellon, another Ripple partner. Citibank by themselves, guys, moves $10 trillion a day in clearing. 10 trillion from one bank. If you missed, this is Swift and Finastra. So this is kind of what the back looks like for all of this payments and clearing, right? You have to have a back office where all this compliance and checks and all this stuff are done, right? Then it's all done through open APIs. And then here's the core platform here, kind of everything that what it can do, signature handling, format, transmission, right? And then you have market connectors. So you have Swift, EU eBIX, EU SIA. SIA is another payment system inside of Europe. And then you have US Fed Funds, Funds ISO and FedNow here, US TCH chips ISO. Chips by themselves, guys, moves about 1.5 trillion a day. And then you have the networks here, right? All the networks, and then you have it all connected together here, right? And you do know that Finastra was one of the first companies that were certified for FedNow, and Finastra actually has the Fusion Pay, which is connected to Ripple. Here is a kind of more of like an opinion piece, more than like fact or whatever. 4,096 US commercial banks may work with Ripple as XRP wins. It says Ripple legal officer expects US banks to adopt Ripple cross-border solutions following the court ruling at XRP is not a security. According to the Ripple executive, the landmark ruling declaring XRP not a security paves the way for U.S. banks and financial institutions to adopt Ripple's solution for cross-border payment. In an interview with CNBC, Stuart Adirati, which is the Ripple's chief legal officer, expressed confidence that American banks would return to Ripple's on-demand liquidity product, right? Remember, on-demand liquidity is only moving 250 million a week right now, billion a month. That's it. Citibank moves 10 trillion a day. ODL is moving 250 million a month, right? There's a lot of room to grow here for Ripple, and that would mean, you know, an impacted price on XRP whenever that should happen, guys. I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow with FedNow launching. I do think it's going to be a very slow rollout. You still need some Basel framework being done. You have the G20 and the Financial Stability Board, the FSB, working on that for the world for crypto regulation, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. But according to the lawyer, Ripple plans to initiate discussions with US-based financial institutions next quarter of the year regarding adopting the ODL solution. The ruling is comfort to banks. Furthermore, Aldarati emphasized that the court's decision would provide comfort for financial institutions to engage in conversations about challenges they face in cross-border value transfers, particularly regarding high fees. That's the thing. Not only does it take a long time, but some of these banks are being charged 3-5% to move money, guys. A lot of money. He said the legal aid, Stuart Aldarati said, hopefully this quarter will generate a lot of conversations in the United States with customers, and hopefully some of those conversations will actually lead into real business. Aldarati also revealed that while most Ripple employees are from the United States, its preliminary or primary business is from abroad, right? So Ripple's business, 90 to 95% of Ripple's business is outside of the US because of the last 2.5 years of court. So I personally think this court case helped Ripple in the end, because Ripple would not be close to where they are today if they were still kind of just dealing with all the US people and not the world, right? You go out and you get all the partnerships in the world, and then the US will come running to you. That's what they did, and that's the way you should do it. Regarding the impact of this component on Ripple's business, Aldarati clarified that since most of the customers are abroad, it will remain largely unaffected. He mentioned that Ripple would carefully analyze the judge's decision, access market needs, and ensure compliance with the judge's findings. And then it says over 4,000 US banks to use Ripple solution. This is more of an opinion by somebody else. Meanwhile, in a game-changing development, Twitter user Wall Street Bulls, that's who they're getting this from. So we always got to kind of take it out of context here, guys, right? It said, is highlighted a staggering 4,096 commercial banks and 576 commercial loan associations holding an astonishing 23.7 trillion in combined assets are set to revolutionize cross-border settlements via Ripple ODL. However, it is important to note that it is merely a projection from Wall Street Bulls. That's all it is, guys, all right? Understand that. Considering the number of commercial banks in the United States, the extent in which the U.S. bank will leverage ODL remains unseen. So this is from, actually, you know what? What I wanted to show you was this, was the Fusion Pay system, right? I should have showed you this last slide, but it's all good. So this is Finastra, one of Ripple's biggest partner. And actually, if you go inside of the Faster Payments Task Force, D+H Industries is what Finastra is, all right? And that was also one of the technologies tested inside of this, and it is hooked up to Ripple. And this is also Brad Kimes from Digital Perspectives. Big shout out to Brad Kimes and Jimmy Valley talking about programmatic sales and how maybe there's going to be a way around it, or if there's anybody in the world that could think of a way around having Ripple be able to sell escrowed XRP to certain banks inside of the US, it could be through maybe programmatic sales, or a way that maybe David Schwartz could think of. Let me play this for you. It's a great clip.
I think, you know, the liquidity hub, the automatic market maker type concepts that you've been hearing David Schwartz talk a lot about in the past 6-8 months really could come to the forefront here. You know, it's a dream to me. And I've no doubt probably...
Guys, if you missed that, he said AMMs. He's talking about automated market makers, right? There was just a CertiK audit that was done on the AMMs. It came back at like a 91.8 or something. It was really good, very impressive. But what he's talking about, automated market makers, just to give you that context that you need.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, obviously, but the dream to someone like a David Schwartz, you know, who's arguably the greatest programmer walking the face of the earth right now, to be told that programmatic sales are okay. You know, so you could just see him going, you know, a programmer going, okay, well, here we go, programmatic sales. I think he can figure out how to program stuff to be able to drive a distribution in a very efficient way. And having it be at market where, you know, whether that be through the liquidity hub, or you got to go through the AMM, or it's not an or, it's going to be and. There's going to be all these markets, all these and Uphold, and all these different exchanges you'll be able to buy from. What we'll see very quickly is the people who are taking the most fees off these transactions, that's going to get squashed down. And it'll be this kind of the automated type stuff that will be the most efficient. And that could happen extremely fast.
I would think so too, because you're touching on something that I think has a lot of weight to it, right? Which is the automated market maker. It's like allowing not only market makers, but market participants who buy enough XRP to become a market maker. This is like this perpetual lock up the value in the network so everyone could use it for liquidity, earn fees on the transactions, rewards from liquidity tokens. I mean, it's just, there is a whole scenario here that looks to be poised for mass adoption and mass total value locked up, TVL, because I think locking up this value to use it to serve the system is the holy grail that we heard, you know, Dilip Rao at his time at Ripple and so many others talk about at Ripple.
Guys, I've been telling you about AMMs, and hooks is what we need to get going. AMMs are going to be a banger, right? You're going to be able to stake your XRP and earn rewards from that. Passive income, whatever it is, right? If XRP goes up to a high enough price, I mean, you could live off that money for the rest of your life. And then your kids can live off the rest of the money for the rest of their lives, right? That's the idea here. Creating income off of your XRP where you don't have to sell your XRP. You can just get that passive income and live off that and keep your XRP for the rest of, you know, generations. If you can figure out how to live to 1,000 years old, man, that XRP is probably still going to be around. God knows what the price will be. This is the president of Palau. Palau does not have a central bank. So what Palau and Ripple are working on is a stablecoin, US dollar stablecoin, launched on the public XRP ledger that the people of Palau will be able to use to do different things. All right, that's the context here.
Palau has been working with Ripple to develop a stablecoin to easily move payments across borders and internally within Palau. Really promotes trade and promotes business.
The stablecoin in our context is essentially a digital representation of the dollar, which is the currency that we use here in Palau. Each digital coin that is minted by Palau into a stablecoin is going to be 100% backed by a dollar. So it's a one-to-one relationship. People interested in doing business in Palau. So we're very happy to receive US dollar, and we are taking our time to make sure we manage all the potential risks as best we can.
So guys, a country like Palau doesn't have, you know, a bunch of credit cards and things like that. And so a lot of people need like short-term loans, like $50, you know, $25. And a lot of banks don't service that kind of stuff. So there are many use cases that they could build around this stablecoin to really help the people of Palau and other countries if they decided the same thing. I'm going to end it with this clip, guys, because we're already about 13 minutes here. This is Broad-Ridge. It has 10 trillion in assets under management. My God. They feel like a BlackRock, right? This is the lead digital officer, and he's about to tell you, he's in a panel discussion. He sees the opportunity as big as the internet era in Web3 digital. And this is from Cyprus Dominicore. Please go give that dude a follow. He does really good work.
For Broad-Ridge to ride and take advantage of, what are some trends that particularly excite you as you look to the future?
So, you know, I start with digital assets, and I'll kind of combine digital assets and Web3 into this kind of big bucket, right? And people talk about cryptocurrencies and NFTs. I'm going to think about it a little bit more broader in the use of the technology. What really excites me here is, you know, in the mid to late 90s is when the internet first kind of, you know, came on the scene. I worked and ran, along with a small team, we put together a small consulting firm. There was 5 or 6 of us. And we were working with financial services companies as they were just starting to go online. And all the promise of the internet and what that meant. And we got bought, and that had several names and different roll-ups of different things that happened. But, you know, we went through the dot-com bubble burst. And what we saw after the dot-com bubble burst was arguably the most innovative period that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, right? In a 20-year period, we saw these behemoth organizations come out of nowhere, whether it's Amazon or Google or Facebook, Meta, a different type of Microsoft, cloud computing, so much innovation happening in such a short period of time. And so what I see with Web3 is really this kind of almost return. Like, we're going to go back to the beginning, and we have an opportunity to rethink a lot of the things that have been done here.
Guys, understand this. How normal people get very wealthy is investing in technology, finding out the right technology. Sure, you're going to lose out here as well. But if you find the right couple companies that are adopted and used globally for institutional payments, tokenization, whatever it is, right? Those companies could set you up for the rest of your life. And that's what you need to learn, get educated, understand, talk with your financial advisor. Those are all things that you should be doing right now, getting prepared. for this next evolution of crypto assets, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you made it to the end, please let me know, because I really love the people that do comment that you made it to the end of the video. That's much love. And if you need help learning about crypto assets, guys, the Cryptonaires Discord is there. I try not to do too many ads in the middle of the video and just give you the information, but hey, we're at the end, and you know, if you need help, Cryptonaires down in the description. We'd love to have you join the community and join Cryptonaires. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.